r/AskReddit by Redmond Dtes. Do you know anyone who fell victim to a cult? What happened? Yes, I had a friend co-worker get sucked into Scientology. He started going to all these classes, of course met a girl who sucked him in deeper, and he stopped showing up for work, so he got fired. Then he just disappeared from the city. Me. I was born into Jehovah's Witnesses and lost everything when my lifetime of doubts were proved rational, and I got out. Wife, kids, dog, job, and home all in 9 months. My living situation is improved. It's been 7 years, but that's still 7 years without the above. 2 of my kids talk to me, but they live 900 miles away, and the distance has killed my mental health. I long to die of natural causes. I'm only 51. I'll be 6 years sober on the 14th, if I make it that far. 6 more days. Edit. My mom abandoned me too, by certified mail with highlighted scriptural notes, and in her immaculate handwriting the week I moved out. She wanted to reconcile, before she died of ovarian cancer. You don't think I want to see her again, only in spirit? Me, I did. It was a new age yoga cult, and me and my friends used to jokingly call it a cult, because we weren't aware of how much bad stuff was happening. Short version is I grew up in it. It was a big part of my life, until I was 17. I left for a while, came back in my late 20s, and less than a year later the people closest to the leader came out and exposed his abuse and corruption, which started a tidal wave of people speaking out. My friend in high school fell in love with a Jehovah's Witness guy. Suddenly we couldn't be friends because I was a sinner for being bisexual. She spent every hour of the day reading about her new religion and telling everyone else that they were going to hell. She tried to convert, but apparently you can fail somehow. She then found out she was pregnant with his child, but when he found out he moved to another province. She stole her parents' car to chase him, but was obviously caught and returned home. She had her baby while still in high school. I found out she killed herself several years later. Does Lyndon LaRouche stuff count? Anyway, I was asked by a friend who was into that to make pasta for the whole, I dunno, cell, political committee? Whatever they call it. So I did that. The problem is that they have something like struggle sessions, during which they put someone in a circle and more or less yell at them. They did that to my friend, and there I was with a metal ladle and a large metal pot. Turns out an Italian with cookware is louder than 20 Americans without. I took her home, and her mom convinced her to stay away. So that was nice. I was born into a fundamentalist Christian cult. I lost my entire family getting out. It took years to get the church to stop harassing me about coming back. I still worry that someone will come by my house. I have a door camera, so I wouldn't answer. It has taken me tremendous effort to build myself from that. I had to learn about boundaries, social skills, and life skills. Plus I have learned to live my adult life with very minimal support. I married a guy who reinforced the same culty crap. Not so much the religion, but the abuse and control. I'm divorcing him. I'm getting better, but it's a long lonely journey. Not me, but I went to school with 2 boys whose aunt and uncle were in the People's Temple in Jonestown, Guyana in 1978. The aunt was killed on the tarmac as they were trying to leave. The uncle, 2 cousins, grandma, and a boyfriend of one of the cousins escaped into the jungle. We were in the 8th grade. The woman that was killed, her name was Patty Parks. She is buried in our hometown, Springfield, Ohio. My mom got sucked into landmark education. It's an offshoot of Scientology. Same brainwashing techniques, weekend retreats, classes, etc., but without any religious aspect or super science fiction crazy shit you hear from Scientology. She's convinced it's strengthened our relationship, but what actually strengthened our relationship was her taking steps back from it. I have relatives who fell into the way international. In the 1990s, I was subjected to a couple Sunday teaching services tapes. One tape suggested any homosexual who would appear on the cult compound grounds would be chained and dragged behind a truck down a gravel road. I asked that relative never to bring that religion or belief system up around me again. I now speak to those relatives only when it's impolite not to. I was dating a guy when COVID hit. The first 2 weeks he was all alone in his apartment, with nothing but the internet to occupy him, and went from a weird, but generally harmless Bernie bro crunchy granola maybe Atlantis was aliens guy, to full QAnon cult guy. In less than a month he went from agreeing that Trump was an idiot ruining our country, to being pretty sure Trump is a hero leading the charge against the deep state pedos eating children. It was wild. We broke up. A university friend joined a culty Christian church, married a man she met there, and had 2 kids. Then he killed her because she was going to leave him. We are still friends with the kids. One of them just had her 2nd child. The husband served several years in jail in Mexico, which is where he killed our friend, and from what I hear, is now living in Germany and practicing as a chiropractor. He was 1 before he killed our friend. Myself. I don't think people realize how cultish Mormons are. Starting from a very young age, as a female we are immediately taught how we will obey our husbands and they know what's best for us. Once we hit 14, they start teaching us how to be mothers and wives, teaching us how to cook, clean and dress. While the boys get to go camping and have fun. I was told that I had to give it to my husband whenever he wanted, because we keep our husbands happy. And we provide as many children as we can. Polygamy is frowned upon, so any of those are myths. Women in the Mormon religion are under such strict rules, while the men don't really get any punishment for anything. Example, if a woman in the Mormon church gets sexually assaulted by a man from that church, it is the woman's fault for opening her legs. And she will be shunned. The man just gets his slap on the wrist and it's swept under the rug. I no longer am Mormon. In fact it has ruined all religions for me except for spirituality. I'm just here. I believe there's a higher being. And I will still continue to have good morals. But I will not worry about what happens when I die until I get there. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.